Ha ha! You know something? Last night was a beautiful night because I got some more NBA playoff action, and it was fantastic. I saw the Indiana Pacers doing their thing. I saw Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving doing their thing. That was 24 hours after I saw the Denver Nuggets do their thing against the Los Angeles Lakers, okay? And of course, I was at the Garden, as in Madison Square Garden, as in the Mecca, as in New York City, where the New York Knicks went up 2-0 on the Philadelphia 76ers. Everywhere I turned, damn it, the NBA action is absolutely fantastic. But that ain't the only thing. You thought I forgot about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. I got more to say about that. You thought I forgot about my boxing. I got more to touch on in regards to that. I got a Heisman trophy that's been returned to its rightful place. I get it. I get it. All that and more coming up, the Stephen A. Smith Show. Come holler at your boy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you at the very least 3 times a week over the digital airways of YouTube. By the way, once again, I got to pause and take a moment to show my love and appreciation for all my supporters and followers. We've now exceeded over 629,000 subscribers. We'll probably be at 630,000 subscribers within a few hours or so. Can't thank y'all enough for the love and support. Keep it coming, and I'm going to keep on coming. To continue to like and follow the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on YouTube, just click the bell to get notified for all of our new content, and bam, you too will be the latest member of the Stephen A. Smith Show family. And while you're doing all of that, please don't forget to pick up a copy of my New York Times best-selling book, Straight Shooter, a memoir of second chances and first takes, now in paperback. Just go to straightshooterbook.com. Once again, that's straightshooterbook.com to get yourself a copy. Now, let's get into some of this NBA action that took place last night, please. I got to get started there because the Timberwolves cruised past the Phoenix Suns for a 2-0 opening round series lead despite an off night from Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. But that wasn't anything compared to the struggles of one Mr. Kevin Durant, another Mr. Devin Booker, and another Mr. Bradley Beal. The big three in Phoenix. The trio combined to score only 52 points last night. And I have to tell you this, I will never question the legacy of Kevin Durant in terms of how big time he is. He's a future Hall of Famer, first ballot with ease. One of the greatest stories we've ever seen in NBA history. The brother is something special, a 2-time champion, a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. But we have to say this for the record. If they get bounced out in the first round, if Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns get bounced out in the first round, do you understand that that's going to be yet another time that Kevin Durant hasn't been to a conference finals or an NBA finals since he departed from Golden State? Now, we all saw him up 3-1 when he was a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder with Russell Westbrook as his teammate, only to lose that 3-1 lead, ultimately lose the series to the Golden State Warriors, and then turned around and joined the Warriors less than a month later. We all saw that with our own 2 eyes. And when he went there, he said, yo, I wanted to play a better brand and the right brand of basketball. So he goes there, he wins 2 titles, 2 NBA Finals MVP. The 3rd year he tore his Achilles, otherwise they would have 3-peated because they would have easily beat Kawhi Leonard's Toronto Raptors. And after that, he went and joined Kyrie, departed from Steph Curry and joined Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn. So it's 2 things that we have to pay attention to here. Kevin Durant hasn't been out of the second round since he departed from Golden State. He ultimately chose Kyrie Irving over Steph Curry. And on top of it all, after Dallas beat the Los Angeles Clippers in Game 2 last night to even the series 1-1, heading back to Dallas, Kyrie is in a better position to advance in these playoffs while Kevin Durant is home. That's not a good look. Somebody got to say it, so I'm saying it. It's not a good look. Devin Booker can't be let off the hook either. He's got to show up. This brother is somebody I believe is Kobe-esque when he's on his game, but when he's off, he's off. And that's not helping him right now. And Frank Vogel can't let him off the hook. He doesn't look like the right coach for this team. You were the worst fourth-quarter team in the NBA this season. I respect the hell out of Frank Vogel. He's a champion as a coach, coaching the Lakers in the bubble. He's a guy that got to a couple of Eastern Conference Finals when he was the head coach with the Indiana Pacers years ago. We know the man knows a thing or two about defense, But offensively, Phoenix looks challenged. Every shot is contested. It's like Kevin Durant and them got to make it up for themselves. They don't seem to have any rhyme or reason to their offensive structure. They're undersized. They don't have the depth. Minnesota looks bigger. Minnesota looks stronger. Minnesota looks more vibrant. They got a superstar in Anthony Edwards that went right after Kevin Durant in game 1. And this kid, Jaden McDaniels, outplayed Kevin Durant and those boys in game 2. It's not looking good for the Phoenix Suns. But it especially is not looking good for Kevin Durant. It needs to be said. So damn it, I'm saying it. I hope it turns around for him, because I don't root against that brother. Really don't root against anybody, but especially not him. Let me move on, because it's time to get to the Mavs and the Clippers series that I alluded to, now tied up at a game apiece like I told you. Dallas stole game 2 last night in Los Angeles as Kawhi Leonard returned to the Clippers lineup. Leonard struggled putting up just 15 points and was 0 for 5 from three-point range. A little rust after a 9-game absence due to his knee injury. Luka Doncic was spectacular, of course, dropped to 32 points en route to a 96-93 victory. The series now heads to Dallas and begs the larger question as to which team would be the better matchup against Denver if they advance. I'm going to tell you that team is the Clippers, believe it or not. Because I'm watching the Dallas Mavericks, even though I believe this series is tied 1-1, I believe they can beat the Clippers and will beat the Clippers in this series. I'm watching Dallas, and I'm saying to myself, who would have a better chance against Denver if they ultimately advance through the next round against the winner of the OKC New Orleans series? I keep thinking about the Clippers because I'm watching Dallas, and I'm watching Dallas struggle against Zubac. I mean, he looks big, he looks massive. Well, damn it, if you're struggling against Zubac, what the hell are you going to do against Jokic and Aaron Gordon and a 6'10" Michael Porter Jr. who can shoot threes? I'm just looking at Dallas, and then looking at them up close, and being at the game this past weekend, I'm looking at Derek Lively, the rookie. I'm looking at Daniel Gafford, who they acquired before the trading deadline. Yeah, he's got some size on him, but he doesn't seem to be doing much. And Lively is tall but thin. That ain't gonna cut it against Jokic. This is what I think about when I think about Jokic. The man can't jump onto a curb and you can't stop him. I ain't never seen shit like it. Ever. Okay? When I think about Jokic, he reminds me of what I think about when I think about Tyson Fury and he got in the ring against Deontay Wilder. Remember that? He got in the ring against Deontay Wilder, and before he got into the ring for the trilogy against Deontay Wilder, he said, here's how this is going to go. He said, I'm going to come into the ring about 35, 40 pounds heavier. He said he can't box, he can punch, but he can't box, so he's going to be there as a stationary target for me to knock upside his head anytime I want to. But even when I miss, I'm going to lean on him. Okay? And because I'm so much heavier than him and I'm going to be leaning on him, when I do that, he's not going to have any legs by the middle of the fight. And he's going to be a stationary target there for me to hit anytime I want to. That's what I think about when I think about Jokic. Do you notice how Jokic, whether he's wobbling or walking or running up and down the court, how he always leaning on somebody? Just leaning on them with all that blubber. I shouldn't say blubber because he's not really out of shape. But damn it, he ain't walking around some six-pack. He's a big boy. And he just leans on you with all that heavy weight. And it wears dudes down. That is what happened. And that's why I think that the Clippers would have a better chance than Dallas, because the Clippers have more size in Zubac and Mason Plumlee than I believe the Dallas Mavericks have. But that's the only reason. I think everything else, I'm looking at Kyrie and Luka Doncic, I don't mind. I don't mind that challenge. And I think Kyrie's a bit undersized, as spectacular and great as he is. I think he's a bit undersized against Denver, whereas Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, along with James Harden, wouldn't be. That's just me. Let me move on to this next one, because it's got to get to the Lakers, who suffered their demoralizing loss to the defending champion Denver Nuggets Monday night. The Lakers blew a 20-point lead, by the way, and allowed the game to come down to a Jamal Murray 15-foot fadeaway over Anthony Davis to seal a victory. They're now back down 0-2 with Game 3 scheduled for tomorrow night. Series is over. I mean, fuck it. Series over. Let's just get it out the way. You've lost to them 10 times. Every time they figure out a different way to beat your ass. There's no way around this. I take no comfort in saying this. I don't want to be in a Mile High City in Man June. I'd rather be in La La. Ain't nobody rooting against the Lakers. Ain't nobody rooting against purple and gold. But the truth is the truth. Let me put it to y'all this way. The Los Angeles Lakers have not beaten the Denver Nuggets since December 16, 2022. The Los Angeles Lakers got swept by the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals last year. In the offseason, we didn't hear much from the Lakers, and then the opening day of training camp, Anthony Davis said, quote, "We heard them talking a lot, chirping a lot, talking. They were coming at us in a certain kind of way, and me and Bron talked about it, and we can't wait for this season to unfold. We can't wait to get our hands on it." Remember all of that? And when he said all of that, he gave the impression they were coming. Well, let me tell you what happened since he said that. Since he said that, they've met against the Denver Nuggets 5 more times. First time, opening night in Denver, ring ceremonies. They made you watch them get their rings, and then they whipped your ass. Second go round, Kobe Bryant's statue was being unveiled. They whipped your ass again. Third time, LeBron James scored his 40,000th point. They whipped your ass again. Then after that, game 1 was in the playoffs. They gave it to you. And then game 2 the other night, you're up 20. LeBron James is playing ball. Anthony Davis is en route to a 30-14 performance. D'Angelo Russell, who averaged 6 points on 32% shooting and 13% shooting from three-point range in the Western Conference Finals last year, who did nothing in game 1, shooting 1 of 9 from three-point range. This brother shows up and hits 7 threes, and the Lakers still lost. No matter what you seem to do, Denver beats you. And I know they're going to make the argument, and rightfully so, that the referees held their whistle. But damn it, a 20-point lead is a 20-point lead. And you lost it. And it was gone before y'all had a chance to pass gas. It was gone. So I get that the Lakers are upset that the whistles were being held and the referees didn't call fouls. But the flip side to it is that you got a 20-point lead on the road in game 2 with LeBron James and Anthony Davis as the cornerstone of your franchise. You can't lose that lead. You can't lose that game. And you certainly can't lose it to this team that has owned you and has now beaten you 10 straight times, but it happened. So I went from thinking this is going to be a highly competitive series that's going to go possibly 7 games to praying that the broomsticks ain't brought out at Crypto.com Arena by this weekend. I'm praying that the Los Angeles Lakers win game 3 so we can ensure that it's going to be at least game 5 and the Lakers can win game 4 and they could potentially win a game 6. I'm praying that's the case. But I don't know. I ain't that damn confident, I can tell you that much. Finally, the New York Knicks. I had to get to this. The Knicks head to Philadelphia fresh off that incredible comeback victory Monday night at Madison Square Garden. But since then, the league has acknowledged that Tyrese Maxey was fouled twice by New York at the end of the game before he turned the ball over. You see the play here, he was clearly fouled. Nobody's refuting that. Before ultimately they got the rebound, fed it to Dante DiVincenzo, who missed his first 3-point shot and then made the last one. But despite the loss, reigning league MVP Joel Embiid is guaranteeing a playoff series win over the Knicks despite the 0-2 hole. Joel Embiid can guarantee what the hell he wants. Here's the reason why you don't have to take him that seriously, because we don't know if he's going to be healthy enough to go for but so long. Joel Embiid is phenomenal. He's great. A healthy Joel Embiid, I believe, would have us fantasizing about him being the greatest big man who's ever played the game. That's how legit he is. Shaq couldn't shoot like this. He didn't have those kind of ball handling skills. Okay? Neither did Wilt Chamberlain. Neither did Bill Russell. Neither did Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. When you consider the arsenal that Joel Embiid has available to him, if healthy, he would have easily been in the conversation as the greatest big man to have ever lived, assuming he ended up winning a title, which I believe his talents could pull off because he's that phenomenal. He's in so much pain with that left knee. I mean, it looked like he was walking around with a big-ass ice pack wrapped around his knee. That's how it looked while he was playing. It was that bad. I was sitting courtside, he would walk by me and his face is cringing in pain. He could barely walk up and down the court, let alone run. It was that bad. And I feel so sad for him, even though I'm a Knicks fan. But I gotta tell you, I find it hard to believe that he's going to be able to back up his bravado only because of his health. On one leg, the brother dropped 35. On one leg, he's averaging 31 and a half, 32 for the series. On one leg, he's that great. He is that great. But in the game of basketball, at the very least, you got to walk up and down 94 feet, if not run. And I don't know if he can do that. And if he can't, New York Knicks ain't losing this series. So he can talk all he wants to. But is your health going to back it up? I don't think it is. And that's the bottom line. Coming up, Caitlin Clark is turning into Caitlin Inc. I have more on that. Plus, the one and only Reggie Bush finally gets his Heisman back. What does it all mean? I'll explain. And he's a fitness instructor, motivational speaker, and he'll kick your ass on that Peloton. The one and only Alex Toussaint is right here in studio with yours truly, your boy Stephen A. Smith in the house, right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Don't go anywhere. Back with more in a minute. Okay, everybody, you know what time it is, right? It's time for Stephen A's Weekly Picks. Major League Baseball is here, and the NBA playoffs are on the way. So I've teamed up with PrizePicks to bring you my favorite sports picks for each and every single game. If you haven't heard, PrizePicks is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game where you pick 2, 3, or even up to 6 players and select if they'll have more or less than their predicted in-game stats. But the part that gets me super excited is it's not just baseball or basketball. You can pick from any and all of the sports you love to watch. I'm serious, y'all. I ain't joking. There's soccer, there's tennis, there's MMA. Damn it, there's even darts. Darts, okay? The list is that endless. And if you go to PrizePicks.com right now and use promo code SAS, my initials, you'll receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. You heard me. Right now, go to PrizePicks.com, type in my initials SAS to get a first-time deposit match up to $100. Today, however, I will not be selecting any NBA or Major League players. I'm going off topic, and I'll be choosing more or less than 2.5 televisions in your home. Now, please be clear. I'm fully aware that everybody can't afford to have more than 2 TVs in their home. Some people can't afford to have 1 TV in their home. Okay, we all get that. We understand that. We definitely want to be sensitive in that regard. But I will tell you this, if you can't afford it, particularly if you have a home where there's an abundance of people in it or even just a few people in it, more than just yourself, damn it, you definitely want more than 2.5 TVs, okay? Why? Because you want to be able to walk around the house and know that no matter where you go, if you're watching something, you don't have to be in a particular locale within your home in order to watch the programming on a tube. You want to be able to watch it wherever you go. So if you're downstairs in the living room, fine. You're downstairs in the basement, fine. You upstairs in the bedroom, fine. If you got some place to go, if you got a different places to go in your home, you want to make sure you got the TV on so you can watch all of that stuff. And if it's not even about that, but you got some people might want to watch soap operas. You might want to watch sports. Somebody else might want to watch drama. The fact is, more than 1 TV, more than 2 TVs enables you to do that in your home. So more, we don't want to be gluttonous or anything like that, but more is usually better than less. With a question like this, I'm going to go with the more on this. This is what I'm doing. It's what I like to do. I'm sure y'all can appreciate that. More, more, more. Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube. Let's get to some quick hitters, please, because I got some stuff on my mind that I want to get to in and out as quick as I possibly can. Caitlin Clark, remember that girl, that superstar playing for Iowa that ended up going to the Final Four before losing to South Carolina in the national championship game? I mean, you remember her? Caitlin Clark continues to set the bar when it comes to her impact on female athletics. She's got one of the hottest selling jerseys in sports, y'all, according to Fanatics, led by the one and only Michael Rubin. Clark's Indiana Fever jersey is apparently sold out in all sizes. It was rumored that she actually outsold Dallas Cowboy jerseys, although that hasn't been entirely confirmed, of course, because that would be a feat. But in addition to the jersey sales, Clark now has an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that will include her own signature shoe. The deal is the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. She deserves it. She deserves it. Now let me say something to all the ladies out there, okay? Somebody coming along and elevating the sport shine ultimately benefits you. Go out there, compete with her, try to bust her up if you want to, and all of that stuff. Just don't hate on the acclaim that she's getting. And I know some people out there, particularly folks, you understand, that are looking at us, especially you African American, you're thinking about all the years that you've toiled through the terrain and you've tried to elevate the sport and your own profile and your own cachet. And Madison Avenue and stuff like that, they didn't seem receptive to it. Well, times have changed. And guess what? It's going to change for the better because Caitlin Clark's going to help it change for the better. All of a sudden, we're going to see Asia Wilson. She may get some more shine because she's that girl. Diana Taurasi going to get more shine because we know what she brings to the table. Ionescu, she's going to get more shine. Others, black, white, everything in between. It's about the ladies now more so than ever before. And if Caitlin Clark helps you appreciate that, it mimic Dawn Staley when they won the national title. And she went up on that stage and she said, I want to thank Caitlin Clark for uplifting the sport, for elevating the sport for all of us. Think big picture. Think big picture. Don't get caught up in all that other stuff that everybody's got to say. Hating on Caitlin Clark. She's a good girl. Very smart. I've met her. I've talked to her. I've talked with her family. She's a wonderful young lady and a spectacular talent. I hope she goes in the WNBA and I hope she wreaks havoc, dropping threes like Steph Curry. That's what I hope she brings to the table. I really, really do. Because it's not just going to benefit her. It's going to benefit everybody. If you can play, it's going to benefit all the ladies. Pay attention. Pay attention. Let me move on to the next subject because it involves former USC running back Reggie Bush. He's getting his Heisman trophy back. According to ESPN, the Heisman Trust is set to announce Bush's trophy from the 2005 season will be officially reinstated and returned to him, given the, quote, fundamental changes in college athletics, okay? If you remember, Bush already reacted to the news saying, quote, personally, I'm thrilled to reunite with my fellow Heisman winners and be a part of the storied legacy of the Heisman Trophy. And I'm honored to return to the Heisman family. I also look forward to working together with the Heisman Trust to advance the values and mission of the organization, end quote. He didn't even have to say that. I don't even know why he bothered saying that. Hell with the Heisman Trust. You understand? Values and all this stuff. What values? The fact of the matter is that when you look at the Heisman, when you look at the NCAA, when you look at the exploitation of these athletes all of these years, you're doing it now because society has said, enough's enough. Y'all got over on these kids long enough. Institutions and the administrations under those institutions and programs have benefited from the exploits of these marvelous athletes, which Reggie Bush was. That's why he got drafted number 2 by the New Orleans Saints. Like in 2006, this brother was absolutely spectacular. Okay? And what did you do? Because, excuse me, somebody must funnel some money to him so he could sit up there and help take care of his family while he was at college, while he was on the college campuses. No, he couldn't do that, but the programs could get paid. The networks that were televising his games could get paid. This is the point. This is the part that we have to point out. The Heisman Trust, the NCAA, all parties involved in confiscating the Heisman Trophy from him to begin with, don't sit up there and act like you all virtuous now. No, you adapted because you had no damn choice. Because everybody recognized how full of it you've been all of these years. Holding these kids who were star athletes to a level of accountability while you sat up there and profited off of capitalism the way that you have. So it's really nice that you gave him the Heisman Trophy back. It's really nice that this epiphany has hit you and times have changed. In other words, society said, we accept it, so you said okay. You ain't virtuous at all. You did the right thing, but you real late to the party. At least that's how I feel. All right, let's get to the NFL draft, where there should be no drama with the Bears selecting Caleb Williams as the first overall pick, but the drama may start with the second pick held by the Washington Commanders in some people's eyes. Will it be the Heisman Trophy winner from LSU, Jaden Daniels, or North Carolina's Drake May? Let me put it to you this way. It better not be some damn dude Drake May. It better not be. It better not be. Drake May at North Carolina, same place where Mitchell Trubisky went. The same program you coming out of when you got the backdrop of history of the Chicago Bears at the time, where Ryan Pace is his general manager, passing up on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson to move up to get the number 2 spot in the NFL draft to draft Mitchell Trubisky? It better not be no damn Drake May. It better be Jaden Daniels. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody's going to say it, so I'm going to say it. We're going to say it the right way. We talking about Chocolate City. You know that's what D.C. is called, right? I know y'all think about it from a political perspective because of the politics. I'm talking sports. We call it Chocolate City. Figure out why that is. It's a very, very nice place in some people's eyes when you think about sports in that locale. Remember when RG3 was there? Remember when he came and took the league by storm as a rookie quarterback for the Washington football franchise? Remember all of that? If it wasn't for Haloti Ngata damn near almost having RG3's leg amputated because of that hit, if it wasn't for that, one would argue that RG3 would still be a star. One would argue he would have been Lamar Jackson or a Michael Vick or something along those lines. You understand? You think the nation's capital with the new billionaire owner and Josh Harris who paid more than $6 billion with guys like Magic Johnson as part owners, you think they're going to pass up on a brother like Jaden Daniels for Drake May? Have you lost your ever-loving mind? It ain't going to happen. The people in the nation's capital have already spoken. Daniel Snyder ain't there no more. They want to hear about no damn Drake May. Jaden Daniels won a Heisman. That brother's athletic. That brother can throw. That brother played in the SEC for LSU, going up against Alabama and Georgia. One playing in North Carolina. I want to hear nothing about no Drake May. Nothing but the best to you, brother. I wish you all the best. I hope that you're successful. And I want you to go into the league. I want you to be all right. I want you to be all right. I want J.J. McCarthy to be all right. Okay? I want all of that. But you ain't going before no damn Jaden Daniels. You cancel that dream. Magic and the crew ain't letting that happen. Chocolate City ain't letting that happen. They want the brother. Not because he's a brother, because we don't care about ethnicity and all of that stuff. It's whether or not you can play. But when you are a brother who can play, then certainly that is a plus. And I'll be damned if that ain't going to be a plus for the Washington Commanders. They're going to draft Jaden Daniels. You can book that. Ain't going to be no damn Drake May. Cancel that dream. Sorry, Drake. As in Drake May. Let's not confuse it and act like we talking about the other Drake. You ain't that either. You ain't Jaden Daniels and you ain't Drake. You Drake Daniel. You Drake May. Not Jaden Daniels and not Drake. Last item I want to take time to look at is revisiting the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight from last Saturday night. You know, I'm not happy with Ryan Garcia in this respect. I saw this, wasn't allowed to show you these highlights until today. Ryan Garcia definitely handled his business. He beat up Devin Haney. Devin Haney got exposed in this regard. He got exposed as having a questionable chin, and even his boxing skills, which I think are superb, came into question because even when he was hurt, he didn't know how to back up. See, when you compare yourself to Floyd Mayweather, remember, Floyd Mayweather could get on a bicycle and beat your ass. He could beat you moving backwards. That's how gifted and skilled he was. Devin Haney didn't even know how to fight backwards once he got hurt. He knew how to grab and hold, or he stood right in front of Ryan Garcia to get checked. So now Devin Haney went from an undefeated champion who had moved up to the 140-pound division to being somebody that we now have to ask ourselves, is that why you didn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson? Because here's what I have people in the boxing community telling me. Shakur Stevenson knew that could happen to Devin Haney. So he wanted to be the first one to expose it rather than him getting caught by Ryan Garcia because he knew he had a questionable chin. Remember, Adrian Broner once told us that when Gervonta Davis was in the ring with Devin Haney, as superb of a boxer as Devin Haney was, once Gervonta Davis checked him and hurt him, if that were a real fight, he would have been finished. Remember that? And now here we are seeing what we saw. Now, Ryan Garcia, the reason I'm not happy is because you should be responsible enough to be disciplined enough. If you agree to a 140-pound fight, meet the damn weight limit. If I was Devin Haney, I wouldn't afford him unless you meet 140 pounds. I don't give a damn that you drained yourself training for Gervonta Davis and you came in too weak. That's a personal problem. You want me to give you this fight, you got to show up at 140 pounds. What Devin Haney did was say, I bet you $500,000 per pound. So you gave him the license to come in 3 pounds overweight. He gives you a check for $1.5 million, but he bet on himself reportedly and ended up getting $10 to $12 million. Meanwhile, he came into the ring, and even though it wasn't for the title, because he wasn't eligible for the title, because he came in over the weight limit, and you got to keep your title, as a result, you still lost in a very public platform, conspicuously and unceremoniously. He gave it to Devin Haney. Left hook, couldn't take it. Straight right, there all day to connect with Devin Haney, who couldn't seem to move out of the way of Ryan Garcia's punches. And that was with Ryan Garcia clearly out of shape, clearly winded. Having not taken the fight as seriously as people said that he should have, and he even acknowledged that he normally would. This is not a good look for Devin Haney. Not at all. For Ryan Garcia, it is, but it shouldn't be. You fight for 140 pounds, show your ass up at 140 pounds. Anybody could sit up there and preserve their strength by not meeting the responsibility of a weight limit that you're obligated to meet for the fight. That's not fair. And those 3 pounds from listening to Sean Porter and Clarissa Shields makes a big difference when you don't have to drain yourself of those 3 pounds the night before the fight. So Ryan Garcia might look good, but he shouldn't. But since you went through all of this, you clearly want another shot at Gervonta Davis. I'd sign up for that. I'd sign up for Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez. I'd sign up to see that fight too. Don't even think about going against Terrence Crawford at 147. Don't you do that to yourself. Don't you do that to yourself, Ryan Garcia. Don't get too happy. I respect the hell out of you. You're gifted. Quickness, speed, the whole bit. Lightning quick left hook, no doubt. But you were the bigger, stronger fighter against Devin Haney, who was just foolish enough to get in the ring with you, even though he was smaller, with devoid of that power. And I think it's going to cost Devin Haney. Because now we know what's going to happen to him if he went up against Gervonta Davis. And we suspect now what would happen to him if he went up against Shakur Stevenson. So Devin Haney went from being here to dropping off because he got to the ring with a bigger, stronger fighter who he allowed to be even bigger and stronger by not obligating him to meet that weight limit. Damn. Damn. One last topic I'm gonna get into. The Department of Justice, in all seriousness, this needed to be mentioned, so I'm mentioning it. The Department of Justice reached a $138 million settlement with victims of disgraced former USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar. The settlement is a result of claims of wrongdoing against the FBI and their failure to investigate allegations of sexual abuse by the disgraced team doctor. A 2021 Justice Department watchdog report confirmed that FBI agents did not take the proper investigative steps when they first learned that Nassar was sexually abusing young gymnasts in 2015. The settlement, once finalized, will resolve 139 claims filed against the Department of Justice and the FBI by the long list of athletes and patients, including Simone Biles and Allie Raceman. I'm happy, as happy as we can conceivably be. Maybe they'll have closure, and God bless all of them and hope they move on in their lives. Larry Nassar, don't even get me started with him and what we should all think about him for eternity. Only reason I bring up this subject, the biggest reason, is because of the FBI. And I want to say this to former director James Comey. You don't get to hide, sir. You were seen during the 2016 election when Hillary Rodham Clinton was going up against Donald Trump. And less than 2 weeks before the election, you notified Congress that something was discovered during your investigation from her private email server that helped compromise her in the polls and in most people's eyes for the Electoral College vote. Some people believe that swung the election and ultimately enabled Donald Trump to become the next president of the United States instead of Hillary Rodham Clinton. So if you were seen then and heard from then, we should certainly be hearing from you now, since the implication has been that when these allegations were brought to the attention of the FBI, it was stored in some drawer somewhere and wasn't addressed with the seriousness that it deserved, and how over 100 girls could have been spared from the despicableness of Larry Nassar. If you're gonna be seen with everything, not just what you want to be seen with. I'm not attaching guilt or innocence to former FBI Director James Comey or anybody else. I'm only making the point of, if we heard from you with something like the election, we should hear from you with something like this, especially when them young ladies swear that it was brought to your attention as an office, and you, the director of the FBI, the head of that office, somehow, some way, just ignored this or didn't give it the rapt attention it needed. You don't get to be silent now, even though you're no longer in that position. Nah, what happened? We got a right to know. Coming up next, Peloton trainer, motivational speaker, and former NBA All-Star Celebrity Game MVP, Alex Toussaint, joins me right here in studio, hanging with your boy. Next on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Don't go away. I want to take a second to make sure everyone knows. The NBA playoffs are here, y'all, and PrizePicks has got you covered for all the real-time action. That's right. With big games happening every night, PrizePicks is here to help you cash in. In case you didn't know, PrizePicks is a daily fantasy app where you can select 2 or more of your favorite players and then pick more or less on their projected in-game stats. But best part is, PrizePicks has something for every sports fan. I mean every sports fan. Choose from the NBA, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, the MMA, and everything in between. You can pick Damian Lillard, Shohei Ohtani, and Stuart Skinner, all in the same entry. I make my picks and submit early, all in less than 60 seconds. Then I sit back and watch, and get this. PrizePicks will match your first deposit of up to $100. You heard me right. Go to prizepicks.com and use code SAS. That's my initials, of course, for a first deposit match up to $100. That's SAS, where you go to prizepicks.com and use the promo code. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. If you've ever rode a Peloton or ran on their treadmill, then you know my next guest. He's a wellness and fitness influencer and one of the brand's most iconic instructors whose classes inspire thousands of riders and celebrities alike. He's also a motivational speaker and an acclaimed author on a mission to help us all activate our greatness. I also hear he's a big Miami Heat fan. My condolences to him in advance, by the way. The one and only Alex Toussaint. What's going on, big time?
It's an honor to be here, my brother. Thank you so much for having me, sir.
Good to meet you, bro. How's everything going with you?
You know what? I woke up today. I'm blessed. I cannot complain at all.
You sure you can't complain because the Miami Heat about to play
Listen.
Celtics?
I know it's orange and blue skies right now. I know it's orange and blue skies right now. But the weather may change, right? The weather may change.
You think Miami got a chance against
I
Boston?
need Jimmy coming back healthy.
That ain't gonna happen tonight, not game 2.
I know. But you know what it is? Miami, 7-game series, I'm confident in them. We do got the best coach, in my opinion, in the league. Okay. And he is a master at making adjustments. In my opinion.
You really are motivational. Because I get what you're saying about Eric Spoelstra, but you're trying to tell me you're confident that Miami can beat Boston? I don't care if Jimmy Butler is healthy. You think that Miami can beat this Boston
I'm a diehard Miami Heat fan. I'm not a delusional fan.
Okay.
I'm not a delusional fan. Okay. Boston is nothing to play with now. They're serious.
That's right.
However, in a 7-game series, I'm still going to take my team.
All-time 2 guard. I know you loved yourself some D-Wade. That's my brother right there. But Kobe Bryant, you loved him too. God rest his soul. If you had to pick between one of the two, who's it going to be?
Respectfully, Kobe.
Okay.
Only because my love for basketball stemmed from watching Kobe play.
Okay.
Then when Dwayne Wade came into the league, I started to, especially when I went to military school, I saw a little bit of myself within him, so I started to navigate towards him a little bit more. But definitely Kobe was top for me.
Let's get into you personally, because I mean, I'm thinking about you and what you've done, particularly with Peloton, because everybody sees you, and I mean, they talk about your dope mixtapes and all of this, the music, your catalog, what you bring to the table. Everybody's got a lot of love for it. How are you feeling about the success that you've enjoyed as being a Peloton instructor?
Man, no 2 days have been the same. The level of success is definitely a blessing. However, I have this motto that I don't live for the cheers, I don't die by the booze. So that keeps me balanced. So as much as I'm very thankful and very blessed to be where I am today, the biggest accomplishment of it all is being able to look at my mother in the face and say that I retired her, she's still proud of me, and she continues to inspire me to where I'm trying to go now. So,
what do you believe makes you different from various other instructors out there?
I'm me. I'm me. And I mean in the sense of I walk into the building and I'll shake the CEO's hand the same way I shake the person who mops the floor's hand. And I think that ability to stay true to yourself, and no matter what environment you walk into, people, they can resonate with that. But most importantly, they understand that what I'm doing it's a new space. It's a vulnerable space. It's new territory.
Okay.
And I think people respect the fact that I'm able to just remain true to my identity and stand for my last name versus my first.
When you say it's a new space, it's new territory, what do you mean by that?
I mean in the sense that we've seen pro athletes in basketball, football, hockey, soccer, baseball, but we've never been able to identify personal trainers as pro athletes. But a lot of these trainers have the ability to move and execute like pro athletes do. So since 2013, the minute I got onto a spin bike, my idea was I'm gonna push these pedal strokes as if I was a pro athlete. The same way somebody like Kobe may wanna hear a playlist, or the same way like LeBron may wanna hear something, I try to execute my classes with that same level of intent. And we fast forward 12 years later, now I've been teaching 12 years and we're able to train some of the greatest athletes in the world.
Educate the world about what a spin class is. I know what it is.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
I went in one once and I ran the hell out of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ran.
We bring you back, though.
I ran.
We bring you back.
What a nightmare. So I want you to tell everybody what exactly a spin class is and what did it take for you to qualify to go to Peloton, be like, I should be one of your instructors.
Yes,
Here's
sir.
why.
Well, a spin class, 30 to 40 bikes in a room.
Okay.
Bunch of people moving their bodies, moving their minds, but going absolutely nowhere.
Right.
An instructor's making it a playlist. The instructor creates a playlist from song 1 to song 10. And what they're trying to do is create an environment to help you break down, to break through, no matter what it is you're going through, whether from a physical standpoint, mental standpoint, emotional standpoint. The playlist plus the execution of the movements together creates an environment. It creates the entire workout experience.
But like you said, you cycling, but you're not going anywhere, but you pedaling.
Well,
you feeling that fire in your look, man.
Listen, come on now. You look good, by the way, first off.
I'm on it. I'm
Come
on
on
it.
now.
I'm on it, baby.
You look good, baby.
I'm on it, baby.
Slim fly. I see you, Slim
I'm on it.
fly.
Slim
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shady is what they call me. Slim Shady is what they call me. But my point is, when you think about what folks are trying to accomplish in a Peloton class, highlight for me as an instructor what that's like for you. Is it all the same, or do you look at folks differently and say, okay, you're trying to accomplish this, you're trying to accomplish that? Talk to us about what you're trying to accomplish and what's conceivable goals for somebody that's using a Peloton.
First off, I tell people all the time, I don't teach for your body, I teach for your mind. Your body's gonna follow. I'm not the person that, hey, come to my class, you're losing 10 pounds. I'm trying to educate you on shedding the mental weight, on the ability to wake up and look at yourself and believe in yourself when nobody else can.
Okay.
It's that concept for me. So I think every instructor, there's 55, 56 instructors at Peloton. Okay. No two instructor teaches the same. I program my class completely different than somebody else may. I teach completely different. I execute within my member community completely different. It's essentially like a basketball team. Everybody shows up to their job with a different skill set, but collectively we're trying to make this ship run together. And I think that's what's a beautiful thing about Peloton. And I've been there now going 9.5 years. I didn't go to Peloton, they recruited me.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't have to.
Because I was getting ready to ask you, I wanted to know what the criteria was. I wanted to know what the test looked like. I wanted to know how you qualify to do what you do. How could somebody else be the next Alex Toussaint? What would they need to pull off?
I would tell them flat out, you better wake up every single day, move with a purpose, and execute with an intention, with the outcome being unknown. Because I woke up 2013, I said enough is enough. I need to make a change in my life. I was mopping floors before I got into a bike.
Right, I was getting ready to ask you,
Yeah, I was mopping floors looking at the people teaching on the spin bike and was like, what the hell are y'all doing? In a way of, how am I getting so motivated through the fish hole glass? Well, I'm like, what is going on over here? So I asked the owner one day, I said, listen, man, could I potentially be an instructor? This is before Peloton days. I'm at Flywheel. Okay. And somebody looked me in my eyes and said, listen, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks of my time. That 2 weeks can change your life. I tell people this all the time. The only reason that woman, whose name is Ruth Zuckerman, who's still my life mentor till this day, provided me an opportunity is because she saw me with a mop in my hand every single day for a year and a half, moving with the purpose and executing with an intention. So if she was to provide an opportunity to take my life to another trajectory, what could he accomplish? So this is something that somebody believed in me a little bit more than I even believed in myself.
Right. But before we get to the job, what made you decide that, you know what, I want to hop on a bicycle and then pedal and pedal and pedal? You know, I mean, what made you decide that you wanted to do that?
My father. And I'll tell you, my dad is the coolest OG. He's from Corona, Queens, so you understand. He grew up in the, you understand.
Queens in the building. Queens in the building. We like that. We like that.
My dad had a very strict rule in the household. You either working or you in college. If you got one of those two not going on, you're out of his crib.
You gotta go.
So I dropped out of college. I went to school for audio video production. Dream job, if you look at my high school yearbook, it says ESPN cameraman.
Wow.
That was my dream job. Obviously that didn't go too well, but the education that I learned from that side of school provided me an opportunity to where I am today. But to pull back a little bit, I dropped out of school, I come home, my dad looked me dead in the face and said, "Get the F out." There's a couple other words that I don't want to say on the show.
But he said that because you dropped out of school.
I dropped out of school.
Right.
And he was like, "Your life is gonna forever change. You a piece of, get out my house." And I remember that feeling of being like, you know what, I'm gonna make a change right now. So I looked him dead in his face and said, "You're gonna bite those words. You're gonna bite those words. I will never step foot back into this house until you bite those words." So I never moved back into my house ever. I went from getting kicked out, slept on my best friend's floor, was mopping floors at Flywheel Sports, and somebody, Ruth Zuckerman, looked at me and saw light, and she said, "You know what, here's an opportunity." So when I show up to work the first day of training to move those pedal strokes, I'm moving it to prove my dad wrong.
And how long did it take you before he acknowledged he had to eat those words?
It took about 3 years. It took 3 years of full-on teaching, 25 classes a week, 7 days a week, all across New York City. April 4th, 2016, 4:30 in the afternoon. I'll never forget it because for me, it's the biggest highlight of my life.
Slow that down. April 4th?
April 4th.
2016?
2016.
Okay.
4:30 in the afternoon.
And what happened?
I'm walking out of the 23rd Street Peloton studio, my phone rings. And we all know we get that phone call from a certain family member at a certain time. You're like, something up. Something up.
Something ain't right.
I pick up, "Pops, what's up?" "Yo, just want to let you know, Lex, I'm proud of you." Man, I ain't never in my life have felt the resistance off my shoulders. I broke down crying in the middle of 23rd Street.
Wow.
Because it was in that moment I realized I've been trying to live myself to prove my father wrong when I could have been living to prove myself right. Now I have this weight off my shoulders where I'm able to now go from existing in my life, trying to find out who I am, to breaking free, now I can live my life for my true meaning. And that was a game changer. That's all I needed.
And you're talking motivation, and we're talking about the mind, because obviously, like you say, feed the mind, the body will follow.
Yes, sir.
No question about that. But I want to get into the physical in this respect. What kind of shape were you in when you decided that you wanted to engage in cycling, and that's what you wanted to do? What type of shape were you in? I mean, were you always somebody that walked around in good physical conditioning?
I had no choice. Pops was old school. Never had a PlayStation in my bedroom, never had a TV in my bedroom. After school, you chopping wood. On Saturday, Sunday, you out doing yard work. There was no level of sit back and be cool. In my household, I come from Haitian immigrants.
That's right.
So there's a level of like, listen, we didn't sacrifice for you to be comfortable in this environment. You got to take the responsibilities that we instilled on you and level it up for the next generation to come after you. But I didn't understand that as a kid. Mom, PhD, doctorate. Dad worked for an oil company, engineer. Brother went to Brown University. The standards were set high in my household. I always batted below those standards. Now what I'm trying to do for my last name, but also for society, is to help people understand you don't got to outsource your greatness. You got to activate it from within. So if you understand where you come from, God, man, you understand where to take it.
You know, for me, man, I got to tell you, I got to confess to you, and everybody knows the story. My whole staff knows the story. About a year ago, you know, a couple of years ago, I had COVID. It was really, really bad. Had double pneumonia.
Wow.
Obviously, I couldn't breathe. New Year's Eve going into 2022, they're like, "Look, man, this steroid and this antibiotic don't work. We got to call your family. You in that bad a shape." In the meantime, because COVID was going on, finally I had an opportunity to get not one but both knee surgeries operated on, because I ain't take care of myself all of those years. And then obviously I had torn rotator cuffs in both shoulders. So it literally wasn't until a little over 14 months ago that I was given the okay to get back in the gym. And just recently, I'm a very private person, believe it or not. I'm one of those dudes. I ain't trying to tell my damn business. Ain't none of your damn business. But when but I had to share with people what I do every morning. And I got a picture in my phone of me standing sideways with a pot belly.
Yes, sir.
No definition, no anything, pot belly, because I couldn't take care of myself. And once that, and I look at that picture every day because from the moment the doctor told me I had the license to get back in the gym, I hopped on the Peloton, okay? I hopped on the treadmill.
I love that.
I hopped on the elliptical.
Yes, sir.
Lifting 5 days a week, changed my diet, cut back on the sugar and bread, took my cholesterol level, dipped that from 301 to like 201. Insulin resistant levels from 27 to 2.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
I ain't playing. I look at it from that perspective because I feel at 56, I feel better than I felt at 36.
Well, I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that.
I feel better than I
Most
felt at
important.
36. The physical, and because of that, now I'm addicted. I'm mad when I'm not in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm mad when I don't get in
There's a certain level of alignment that you get out of it.
That's
now.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm never mad when I don't miss the when I miss the Peloton. That damn thing is a pain in the you know what. And I guess what I'm asking is this: when you get on a Peloton bike, what are the results physically that people can expect if you are disciplined
Yes, sir.
and you do it every day?
Yes, sir.
Explain that to my audience.
So as somebody who honestly stands for teaching for the mind, but obviously we watch people go through
Sure.
such levels of stories like your story just now.
Right.
I've seen people shed over 150 pounds in my class.
Really?
I'm talking full on change, not day and night, but obviously it took time to get it
Right.
done. If you're consistent in your approach
Right.
and you're deliberate in your intent, and most importantly, you execute at a level of you have an actual North Star goal, come on now.
Yeah.
You may drop 150 pounds.
Right.
You may get a six-pack ab doing Emma Lovewell core strength.
Right.
You may you maybe get pregnant and step into
You talk fast. You may get a six-pack doing what? I need to hear that. Six-pack doing what?
Emma Lovewell core strength program on Peloton.
Okay.
Man, I'll get you back and lock you right in where you need to be.
All right.
The thing for me is that like, I never want somebody to feel like they come to my class and they need to feel like they need to lose 20 pounds. Because if I look into the room and I look into the community, it's such a diverse group of individuals.
Right.
I have everything from Steph Curry, the pro athlete, all the way to the soccer mom of 4, to the person that went through a divorce that's trying to find themselves again. There's such a wide demographic of individuals in the community.
Right.
So I made a conscious decision for myself. Instead of coming out like, hey guys, take my class, you're gonna lose 5 pounds. Let me train your mind. Your body will teach you where to go after that.
So it elevates cardiovascular.
Yes, sir.
It'll give it. What does it do for the legs?
Well,
Knees.
it depends what you're trying to
calves?
do. You got options, right? So
You're pedaling. It should do something for the legs and the hips all the time.
somebody that got bad knees, they
Yes,
can't run all the time.
Right.
We got the Peloton bike, we got low impact rides. So those are rides designed to keep you in the saddle, to keep you at a lower resistance, lower cadence, so you don't feel that stress on your knees as if you were taking my hip hop class, or my HIIT class.
Right.
So we got everything for everybody. Everybody's welcome.
So is you taking a beginner's class, that's good?
You
You
gotta
taking
start-
an advanced beginner's class?
You gotta start somewhere.
I haven't. Listen,
gotta start somewhere.
I've been stuck on the advanced beginners because that's 30 minutes.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, damn it, that should be good enough.
I'll tell you this much though, I don't care if you got 1,000 rides, I always point my people back to advanced beginner classes to let you know that. You
Advanced beginner.
Always touch back up on your skills. Because you always gotta touch up on your skills. The same way basketball players and football players warm up on the intricate things to get them going, it's the same way advanced beginner
But
works.
you said warming up. I'm saying that's my exercise on the Peloton. I ain't going past that. I ain't going past the advanced beginner. That's 30 minutes. How many minutes do you really need on the Peloton in order to get, I don't want to say pristine results, how about ideal results?
My recommendation is at least 30 minutes of cardio 3 to 4 days a week. And if you're going for that advanced level of I got somewhere to go, and if you're not just you're a little bit of a intermediate level, pro level, up into 5. But you gotta cross train though. You can't just be doing your cardio without your strength workouts, because your body gonna look a little lopsided.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
No question.
You gotta
No
balance
question.
it out a little bit.
Are you an advocate of doing it 3-4 times a week? Do you think it should be 6-7 times a week? I know you said the minimum was
sir.
30 minutes. Can't be 20 minutes.
Look,
Can't be
you
20 minutes
gotta
low
have
impact.
balance.
You gotta put it in. You
Listen,
gotta put
I got
it in.
people that ride 7 days a week, 4 times a day. People are different.
Yeah.
So I don't suggest everybody do that.
That's right.
You gotta have your recovery day.
Right.
How you recover is how you execute. How you execute is how you play. So I tell people, get your moderate 3-4 days a week in, get your strength training as well.
Right.
Give yourself time to recover. Give your body time to recover get your muscles time to recover from the workout, but also provide yourself that strength to take it to another level.
What's the biggest benefit? What's the biggest benefit? Is it cardio or is it your legs?
Well, you gotta use cardio in general.
Right. But I'm just talking about the pedaling, like, when you talk about, because attrition kicks in, atrophy can kick in.
Yep,
If you're not activating something, it's just fading
it?
away. It's just deteriorating.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you pedaling, that should be working on your legs,
Absolutely.
your hips, thighs, right?
Absolutely. But
All right.
you're controlling the resistance. So based on your resistance will determine how much leg strength you're using or leg endurance you're using.
Man, you just told on me. You just told on me, damn it. I was trying to get past that because I do be manipulating the resistance.
I'm like, if you're riding at 30 resistance, it's a light flat road.
Listen,
take it up to 50, we're talking different.
I've done your class about 5 times. You're the only class that I've had to stop. I couldn't go to
that's
the
that
straight.
tough love.
I couldn't go to the. Yeah, it's too damn
You know what
tough.
though? You know what though?
Yeah.
I got something for you that keep you going.
All right, what's that?
So I don't know if you know, I'm a Puma athlete.
Okay.
Things have been going pretty blessed in my life.
That's
I ain't
right.
gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you
I'm
deserve it.
I'm
You
the
deserve
first
it.
indoor cycling instructor, first athlete, in all honesty,
Okay.
with an indoor cycling shoe.
All right.
So if you guys to bring it to me real quick, if that's okay. Do you mind?
You
if I
got a
bring it?
shoe?
I got a shoe, baby.
Man, bring that out here.
Come on.
Bring that out here for a brother. Let me see this. Let me see
You
this.
know we inspired by the greats, you know. We
Come on
inspired by
now.
the greats.
Come on now.
I wanted to make sure I got you right. You
Excuse
can't come
me?
to your household without something
Now we
proper.
gonna put this right here. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you have to put it on too.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
You got to put it on too.
I gotta put it on.
Not right now. I'm just
Not
saying,
right now.
make
So-
sure it comes off the desk sometime.
These
Yes, sir.
joints.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So-
sir.
See this right here?
Woo, we love it, baby.
See this
We
right
love
here?
it.
See this right here? I kind of like this. You know, got my size and everything
Come on
too.
now.
All right,
Come on now.
And I'm seeing this stuff up in here. Okay. All right. So these are Peloton shoes.
No. These are my shoes.
These are yours.
These are my indoor cycling shoes
These
that
are
are
yours.
converted that you can use on the Peloton
I
platform.
can use this on the Peloton.
You clip those in and it works perfectly. So the people that support me, that's what they ride in.
I love these.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I love
sir.
these. See, the problem with this, though, I'm gonna wear these shoes, right? Then I'm gonna be thinking about you, and then I can't get over. I'm gonna have to put in that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to put in that time. Listen, I love these, man.
I appreciate you, my
brother.
brother.
And so, considering the level of success that you've had, I just often wonder, as you reflect on it now, particularly where you're at now, did you ever see this?
Nah, not to this level. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I believed in myself to the point it was crazy, but to where it's at now, to be able to get recognized from some of the greatest individuals, to sit honestly on your couch right now, somebody who I looked up to and watched every single day at 10 a.m. for the last 14 years of my life, to be able to sit on this couch now lets me know, one, I'm not crazy for believing in myself. Two, I got a vision that is stronger than anybody's doubt. And then three, I got some place to go. And I'm not trying to chase the destination, I'm falling in love with the journey.
Other than obviously this and exercising and what have you, when you talk about protecting that mind, a lot of times as we elevate and we protect our minds, sometimes we recognize everybody can't flow with us as they used to, because things change. How has that been for you? Because with success, it's one thing with your dad picking up the phone, I'm proud of you. But we know everybody doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Some people that were your friends, all of a sudden, you too big now. You know, people
yeah.
that you thought were down with you, suddenly it ain't like that. Have you encountered those kind of experiences?
Without
And if so, what has that been like for you?
It's challenging because these are people that you love, whether it's friends, family, close individuals you grew up with. But at the same time, I can't fit myself into environments I've outgrown. I'm not doing all of this work to not accept change, and to not elevate. So I have this thing that we learn from different individuals. I learned this from Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I can't step down to bridge the gap because I'm slowing down my process and my evolution if I'm trying to interact with somebody who's not on the same wavelength. I can provide you resources and information to help you along the way, but if you're not receptive to that, then I'm taking energy out of my day and out of my time to then not be used in a proper way. So for that, you do got to cut some people off, but it's not a level of, I don't mess with you, I don't love you. It's like, no, I got to love you from afar because I got to protect me up close.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
You said that Steph Curry,
Yes, sir.
you've met him?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know him?
Absolutely.
Right, he uses your class?
Yes, sir.
What have you done for Steph Curry? What's the class done for Steph Curry?
Well, during COVID, the entire Golden State Warriors team were taking classes together. So Draymond, Steph, Clay, the coaches were competing and taking classes all together.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
this is something that for me, like, to be able to have the names of Steph Curry, the names of Josh Hart, your man, New York Knickerbocker himself.
Right.
Everybody, Layla Ali, Roger Federer, Rory McIlroy, some of the greatest athletes in the world, they work out of my class, and it's a blessing.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but damn it, I'm going to anyway. Because when we talk about something like this, you're talking about conditioning, you're talking about getting yourself in shape, whatever. I marvel at Steph Curry. I think he's the greatest shooter God ever created, no question. But he works on his craft, and he deserves mad love and respect for that. But the number one thing about him is his conditioning, to me. I remember seeing J.R. Smith, former Cleveland Cavalier, on the team with Cleveland and LeBron and them that ended up, beating Steph Curry and them in the finals, overcoming that 3-1 deficit. J.R. Smith told a story about how his former teammate Matthew Dellavedova had to be hospitalized.
From chasing Steph around the court.
From chasing Steph around the court. The conditioning that Steph Curry is
overlooked.
in.
It's overlooked.
It's unbelievable. How the hell is somebody getting that kind of conditioning?
I mean, you got to, first off, it's not just Peloton. For somebody like him, it ain't just Peloton. He's being very mindful of what he's putting into his body, his level of sleep, level of recovery, how he's working out. I can't speak for him directly, but it's the invisible work that nobody gets to see. I think that's where the position where he's in. You chasing my man 5-6 miles around the court in a basketball game? You can't blink for a second. You blink for a second, it's a 3.
No question. I want to get to something else about you before we let you get on out of here. Feel good, look good.
Yes, sir. Do better.
Do better mantra. Talk about that.
Feel good. It's all about the internal perspective. We always get that. We put a fly suit on, we put some earrings on, put a pair of J's on. People are like, yo, you look good. Nah, feel good is an internal perspective. How you wake up in the morning, how you look in the mirror, and how you identify with yourself. That's that. Do I feel good internally? Which will allow me to look good externally. We've all had it before where we come to set, we come to work, and somebody is like, Stephen, your energy's on point today.
Right.
That's that look good. That's that whatever going on internally with you is organically coming out where people feel that energy. So if you have the ability to feel good from an internal perspective, you will look good from an external perspective where you'll start radiating that positive energy. And in return, the do better is to extend the hands to others who may need it. So if you figure out a way for yourself to wake up and be comfortable in your environment, in your skin, in your identity, and people feel that, your job is to protect that every single day and help somebody else get there as well.
That's what the Do Better Foundation is all about?
Do Better Foundation is all about.
That's the mission.
Yes, sir. It's to democratize wellness in these communities, whether it's the veterans who don't have access to wellness resources, kids from inner cities who don't have access to real wellness resources. I'm an individual who comes from a Haitian American family. I'm 32 years old. My mother had me in therapy at 5 years old. So that's all I ever known. But I realized as an adult.
Why she had you in therapy at 5
I was
years
a
old?
knucklehead, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, Stephen.
At 5?
Stephen A. I've been kicked out of every school I've ever been to.
5 years old?
5 years old. I was a knucklehead. I got kicked out of preschool.
If you got kicked out of preschool, that means you were beating kids up in school at age 5.
I was a knucklehead. It's all in my book, Activate Your Greatness. But
right. That's what I was getting to next.
Yeah.
And it's described, if I'm doing my research, part is part self-help, part memoir.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that for a second in terms of activating your greatness. What is it about?
So as somebody who's been able to learn from other individuals' experiences, somebody like yourself who's been fired from corporate America early on, who's been public about it, I'm the person who dropped out of college. So I have to get information from other individuals' experiences, people that I look up to, people that I identify with, and people that I want to kind of be in my own respective space. Within that, I understand representation matters. So for these kids in these inner city communities, I want them to understand you don't gotta be a basketball player, football player, baseball player, whatever the case may be, to be in these environments. I had dreams of shooting like Steph Curry. I wasn't blessed with that God-given ability. However, I got to train somebody like him. So I'm trying to shift these kids' perspectives, opening up your aperture to going and testing out new things in life. Within that, you have to believe in yourself to do so. And that's the activating your greatness part. In order to believe in yourself, so in order to accomplish anything, you gotta believe in it to the point that nobody else may be able to see it. And that's where we come in. So we try to provide resources to help these kids identify themselves in a different lens, and most importantly, move their body, move their mind in a different lens.
And how successful do you think that's going to be, particularly in this day and age where somebody could go out there and they could do all the right things. They could put forth all the necessary efforts and what have you, and the bureaucracy that we live in and the way favoritism plays a role. There's so many minefields and potholes that stand in your way. What do you do to sort of offset that in the minds of others that may not have enjoyed the level of success or have come close to tapping into the level of success somebody like yourself, myself, and others have been able to enjoy?
You got to make sure you don't get distracted by what's going on around you. So for the people that may not understand and be able to identify with your vision and your story, you can't be distracted by their level of doubt within your ecosystem. Right. So what I'm trying to do, like I've ran into so many roadblocks trying to get this foundation started, whether it's companies not believing in me, or somebody being like, you are not allowed to do this, or anything in that space. Right. It's been very much like I'm putting my heart on the line for this. Because no matter what level of success I accomplish, if I can't look at the kids who look like me, the younger version of myself, and look at them and be like, yo, I got something for you, I feel fake when I put my head down on the pillow at night. I can't look at myself in the mirror and know I can provide opportunity for other individuals who look like me, the same resources my mom and dad provided to me, and me walk away and be like, you know what, I'm lit on the gram, I'm lit, my life is amazing, let me get this bag and call it a day. It's providing opportunities to others who don't have it.
It's a beautiful cause, my brother. Before I let you get on out of here, what kind of shape has Peloton helped you get in?
Man.
I'm talking about, what was your conditioning before Peloton? And now that you're an instructor, what is it now compared to what it was?
So when I came in, I was teaching 25 classes a week. So from a cycling standpoint, I was in excellent condition. I've always been in great condition because, like I said, my dad grew up, I went to military school. I was up 4 o'clock in the morning in the 6th grade running miles with my drill sergeant. So that was a part of my discipline all growing up. I recently got onto the tread 2 years ago. That was an eye-opener for me. I'm 12 years in the game, felt like a rookie all over again. It's a whole new demand on the body and the mind. So now I gotta sleep different, I gotta eat better, I gotta be more mindful about my recovery. If anything, it's kept me mentally sharp. It's kept me more mentally sharp than physically sharp.
How much sleep do you get a night? How much sleep do you insist you get a night, Alex?
How much do I assist or how much am I getting?
How much are you getting?
I'm only getting like 4 right now.
How you getting on for 4 hours?
West Coast basketball, you know how it go.
All right,
Playoff
well,
season.
all right, so
and I'm
what-
up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So what are you supposed to get?
I'm supposed to get anywhere from 6 to 7 at minimum. Just based off how many times I work out a day. I got 3 workouts a day plus class.
Okay.
So I honestly need to sleep a little bit longer.
All right.
But during basketball season, it's hard
What
to
kind of
set
stuff
that
you
TV
putting in your body?
That's something I've been more mindful about, actually.
Okay.
I just hired a chef to be a little bit more deliberate of how I'm putting things into my body.
Okay.
But I was a person a little bit like the McDonald's here and there, little cupcakes here and there. But
Right.
I'm 32 years old. At some point, the body will change.
Right.
And I don't want to wait till the body changes to adapt. I'm trying
Trust
to
me,
adapt.
you don't want that.
I'm not trying to wait for that.
No, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that.
I'm being a lot more mindful now
Right.
what I input my body.
All right. Liquids, no alcohol?
No alcohol Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday, no
My God.
alcohol at all.
At
All
all.
right. Sugar intake?
I got a little bit of a high sugar intake. I like sweets, so
Okay.
yeah, I like my little candies and stuff like that.
And so, doing what you do, it sort of, you're allowed to cheat a little bit because you in shape.
Well, I'm out working the stuff that I'm putting into my body. So let's be clear.
Right.
If I eat McDonald's, I'm out working that to make sure that it doesn't mess with my body from a fuel standpoint and from a look standpoint. So, yeah, I'm working out 3-4 times a day. So that McDonald's is going to cancel out eventually.
Very last question. What would you tell the audience out there? Because obviously they're going to come, they're going to see your class, okay? I'm going to get to your class. I ain't going to let you know I'm there. I ain't going to let you know I'm there because you might catch me and then you might want me to work a little hard. I'm coming to your class within the next few days, actually.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be there. What advice would you give to folks as we lock in on better health?
Yeah.
Mentally, of course, obviously, cardiovascularly,
Yes, sir.
all of that stuff. What advice would you give to them moving forward, particularly in this day and age?
For anybody that's especially like starting out or trying to restart their process, accountability partners. I've realized without a strong system around you, you can sink, you can float, there's a balance in that. And having a core group of individuals who keep you accountable on your goal is a big key on. 2, is having somewhat of a plan. Like, don't just wake up and just aimlessly, I'm gonna go to the gym today, like, yo, move with a purpose, execute with an intention. So I go back to this acronym SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Utilize your time to your benefit. Don't let time use you. So don't be up in the gym wasting on your phone, TikToking. Nah. Have your bags packed the night before. Have a plan on what you're gonna do in the gym. Set a timer so you know exactly when you're starting and when you're finished, and execute into that space. And if you do that day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, your discipline will carry you when your motivation won't. Because we all know we ain't motivated to work out every single day.
That's right.
I'll tell you right now, I've been teaching in 12 years, I'm not motivated to work out every single day. But I'm so disciplined to the craft and to the evolution of growing every single day that I'm getting my ass, I'm doing it.
You're also addicted. You're addicted to how it makes you feel when you finish.
Exactly.
My man, proud of
Stephen,
you,
I
baby.
appreciate you, my brother. Yes, sir.
Keep doing your thing.
Thank you, sir.
One and only Alex Toussaint. Thanks to him again. Check out one of his motivating classes, please. And if you want to activate your greatness, pick up a copy of Alex's inspiring book right now. Activate your greatness. All right? That's it. Yours truly with the man himself. He gonna get me in shape, even better shape. That's
Keep my man locked in.
That's what I'm destined for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, before I get on out of here for the day, let's go to the screen and take a look at some of your tweets, because I'm here for the tweets. I'm here for the tweets, all right? At Jarvis, 2 S's, 511 writes, thoughts on Reggie Bush getting his Heisman Trophy back? Did you just watch my show? Did you just see what the hell I had to say? I mean, you can't just sit up there and ask those questions. Well, you're not watching what I said? I'm happy he got his Heisman back. It should have never been taken away from him, to be quite honest with you. But I will say this, too. It did have me fantasizing when I heard the name Reggie Bush. It had me fantasizing about Reggie Bush and USC going up against Vince Young in Texas. That might have been the greatest national title game I've seen. It was that spectacular, and the ambiance, the environment, being in Cali and the beautiful sunshine and everything, and Reggie Bush balling and Vince Young just unstoppable. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It did have me fantasizing about that. I'll give you that. Let's go to the next tweet right now. Let's see what else we got here. At Cut Schumacher writes, question, Stephen A. If you were Batman, which beautiful woman would you like to be with? Selena Kyle or Chase Meridian? Chase Meridian, I'm not prone to redheads personally. That's just not my flavor. Not knocking those whose flavor that is. But, when I think about Selena Kyle, she does, they both look scary, but not in a bad way. What I mean is they're not unattractive, but one looks more evil. The other looks more seductive. I'm always gonna go with the seductive over the evil. And by the way, since I'm touching on a subject like that, let me talk to the fellas out there. Let me talk to the fellas. I got a bunch of fellas around me here, working with me here, not just the ladies, but I got a bunch of fellas up in here. Let me give y'all a little bit of note. Think about sexy. Think about beautiful. But also think about evil. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Jennifer Lopez is a beautiful woman. Halle Berry's a beautiful woman. Beyonce's a beautiful woman. Do you know who else is a beautiful woman? Lynn Whitfield. Remember her? Lynn Whitfield is a gorgeous black woman. But did you see how they had her looking in the movie with Martin Lawrence, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate? Remember that? Remember that look on her face? You know when you look at somebody, you just go like this. They look evil. They look scary as hell. You might not want to mess with them. That was her. And no matter how beautiful she looked, remember when she stabbed that cake when he didn't show up on time? And he stood her up because he was with Regina King at her crib. Remember that? Remember that? Remember when she came to the house after he had got taken out of jail, after he had got placed in jail, and mama came and bailed him out, and then she came to his mama's house, and he was like, oh yeah, and he was kicking her car, whatever. She said, watch it, you watch it. And then she told her, watch out for your son. You see that look on her face? Remember when she knocked him upside his head when he came to the house, and she tied him up? And she was looking at him and talking about how he got her all dirty and everything. Look at her eyebrows. Look at how she looked in the movie. I'm not saying that's how she looked all the time. Just in that movie, the way they had her looking. It was intentional. You gotta pick up on evil when you see it. Today is somebody slashing your tires. Tomorrow, somebody else doing considerably more harm to you. You gotta pick up on these things. I try to tell that to my knucklehead nephew and everybody else all the time. Whenever they'll listen, I'll let you know. Next tweet, let's go. At Lord of Savings, what's your craziest impulse purchase, Stephen A? Would you do it again? I don't want to tell you that. I'm not sure I want to reveal that. It was a bit excessive. I don't necessarily regret it, but I don't want to tell myself like that. I mean, I'm a man of the people. I'm a man of the people. But I ain't going to tell you everything. Not everything. There's certain things you keep to yourself. This is one of them. Now, I will tell you that my suits are expensive. And there's a couple of suits that I've bought off of impulse. And then after I really, really saw myself on them in public, I didn't like how I felt. That I'll go, but I won't tell you the rest. I won't tell you the other stuff that I bought. But it's very rare because I'm not an impulsive buyer. So it's very rare that I do that. Next up, last tweet, what we got here. At Lucas Daddy, D-A-D-E-Y, or Day. Hey, Stephen A, if a girl hasn't texted you back in 2 weeks because she's been hanging with other guys, would you still text her again and ask her on another date? Looking forward to the answer. Now, let me say this. That's a very tricky question. And I don't need y'all to leave that up on the screen just how it is so I can talk to my brother, Lucas Day. Chances are, if she hasn't texted you back because she's preoccupied with other brothers, I would normally tell you, cancel that. Move on, don't even worry about that. You don't need that problem. But if she's been with the other dudes, but she hasn't been with you, she doesn't know. You didn't necessarily get your shot at the crown. And so because of that, it might not be any harm in continuing to text as long as you ain't one of those stalkers. Don't ever be that. Don't be inundating her with text messages. Don't be suffocating her and all of that other stuff. It's a huge turnoff. But periodically, sporadically, every now and then, just reminding her you exist. You never know when one day she'll wake up because them other brothers didn't handle their business or they didn't treat her right or whatever. And she'll say, why not? And if you got it like that, all you need is one shot. to spend time with her and to make your own impression. So I would say to you, it all depends on the person. Now, if you had already spent time with her, but then she's not returning your text, well, she's just not that into you. She's just not that into you. And only a weak dude continues to pursue someone who's made it very clear they're just not that into you. When a woman is into you, you'll know. And if you don't know, it's because you really do know. You just don't want to accept it. Men accept it. Boys have a hard problem doing so. Don't be a boy. Be a man. If she wants you, she wants you. If she's interested, she's interested. If she's not, get the hell over it. There are millions upon millions of women in this world. They outnumber men in this day and age, meaning eligible men in this day and age. If she don't want you, somebody else will. Believe in yourself. If you don't, you can't expect anybody else to believe in you. Now get on out of here. I'm Stephen A. That's it for this edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Thank y'all for joining me. Thanks again to Alex Toussaint for coming on the show. Really appreciate his words of wisdom and inspiration. I'm going to get on that Peloton. I ain't lying. I'm going to get on that Peloton. One of my producers, he's a little bit big. He swears he's been on the Peloton. He's been taking it 3-4 days a week. I see no evidence of this whatsoever. None. None. But he swears that's what he's doing. And I happen to know because his wife tells me all the time she is a very happy and loved woman with her husband. So that's all that counts. But I don't see no evidence of the Peloton use. That's just me. But I'm going to pray for him. I'm going to pray for him. As well as the rest of y'all who ain't in shape. Get it together, y'all. Let's hop on that Peloton with Alex Toussaint. Until next time. This is Stephen A. signing off. Enjoy the NBA playoffs. I'll see you Friday. Until then, peace and love.